Live Tuesday, September 5th from the BMW of Atlantic City Studios. This is Fantasy Dominance Now. Come dominate fantasy sports with us. And bringing you all the tools to dominate is Soapstash, the new soap standard. Like them on Facebook, Soapstash LLC. Find them online, soapstash.com. And for ordering information, call 844-890-3197. From the best soap in the business, we are the best fantasy minds in the business. Happy NFL kickoff, everybody. Thank you ever so much for joining us, both on YouTube and Facebook Live. We have DFS Master Mike Kleinkoff. We got waiver wire expert Brian Daly in the house. We got stat magnet Doug Pitchford over here.
What's going on?
And I'm your elite fantasy guru, Rob Povia, all here guiding you to fantasy dominance thanks to Matt Sudi in the producer's chair. And if you want in on that dominance, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You search a2dradio.com. Now, if you got fantasy questions, comment here on the book or tweet us with the hashtag AskFDN. I'm at Robbie Blitz, Robbie BLTZ. Doug, you are at?
I'm the Stat Magnet, at StatMagnet85.
And Mike, you are at?
Mike_Kleinkoff.
And Brian, you're at?
Brian_A2D Radio.
No matter what the handle, hashtag AskFDN, comment on Facebook. We'll get to your questions live on the show, or if it's after the fact, we'll help you dominate in week one in your NFL leagues and DFS leagues. Let's get into the show rundown. We got a great one for you today. We'll take a quick look at the wild Virginia Tech versus West Virginia game where the Hokies pulled off a thrilling victory, a whole lot of thrilling victories in week one of the college football season. We got fresh or stale for week one. Now, if you're new to the program, it's a fun game where we look at fantasy football plays in both leagues as well as DFS to determine who's fresh or a solid play and who's stale and should be avoided. But first, Chiefs-Patriots kick off week one of the NFL season. Woo! We are going game by game, discussing predictions, key matchups, and fantasy-relevant players. We asked you on Facebook and Twitter to launch off this talk, which NFL game are you most looking forward to in week one? Gave you a couple options. Obviously, opening night, Thursday night, Chiefs-Patriots. A lot of people in the Philadelphia area all geeked up for Eagles-Redskins. Giants-Cowboys, Sunday Night Football, or other. You can comment. A lot of games to pick from. What one are you most looking forward to? What's going to be the most interesting game this weekend? And, of course, fellas, I'm going to go to you first and get your opinion. What game are you most looking forward to, or what will be the most interesting game this weekend?
Man, that's tough, bro. I mean, I'll just go right off the bat, man. Monday night, the opening Monday night game, Saints at Vikings, the return of Adrian Peterson. I mean, that just speaks drama all on its own. I honestly can't wait. I want to see what this guy's got. I want to see if he's got anything left in the tank. In New Orleans now with Sean Payton and that explosive offense, Drew Brees. Let's see what he can do with another quarterback. I mean, we saw what he did with Brett Favre. I mean, he only just dominated the league. So, just saying.
Yeah. He's already – I mean, you saw the post on a2dradio.com on Facebook. He's ready to lay the switch to him.
It's horrible.
I know.
Yeah, that's definitely a good game. I can't wait to see that. But mine's definitely the Rams and the Colts. No, I'm kidding.
Is that a fact?
Hey, that's got some fantasy implications.
It
so
does.
We'll get back on
it
that.
really does. But no, definitely that game's my top one. But I also want to see what Beast Mode's going to do.
Yeah.
You know, I think that'd be a pretty solid game with Derek Carr and Mariota both at the last game of the year, breaking a bone in their legs. So I want to see how they look. I think a pretty solid game with two young quarterbacks,
Young elite quarterbacks.
Yeah. So I'm ready for that one too. And of course I want to see my Steelers play, but they're playing the Browns, so. Yeah,
we're all representing our various teams here. It's eclectic because it's a fantasy sports show. It's all about the universe,
True.
The NFL universe, that is.
Except for me, though. No NFL apparel today. No.
No?
No.
Oh, I thought you had the Niners hat on. Oh, it's a baseball cap. You didn't get the memo.
No.
I like to respect the beard, though.
Absolutely. No. Just a point of emphasis. No NFL apparel. No NFL apparel today.
Gotcha.
As much as I'm looking forward to the Eagles-Redskins and seeing Carson Wentz progress, see if he progresses, I'm with Doug. I'm looking forward to this New Orleans-Minnesota game. Just you seen Adrian Peterson wearing a Minnesota Vikings jersey for so long. The fact that he he got cut and went to New Orleans, and his first game as a Saint is going to be against his old team. Like Doug said, a lot of drama behind it. Want to see how he does with Drew Brees at the helm. Very excited to see him play his old team. Show him that he's still got stuff left in the tank.
I think he'd be huge. I think he's gonna have a huge game. I don't think it's gonna be one of those, guy has 100 yards, whatever. No, I think he's gonna show he's still Adrian Peterson. 200 plus yards, 2 touchdowns, just absolutely just dominate the game. I think that guy still exists.
I think he does too. I just hope he stays healthy.
Well, with in the running back situation there in New Orleans with Mark Ingram there, probably getting more or less pushed back to a more secondary role. I could see Adrian Peterson really staying healthier. Plus, he's not gonna be giving the ball 300, 350 times a year like he's been in the past.
And they also drafted Alvin Kamara too. So they got 3 backs on that team.
Right, and we're also forgetting the third down back that they have down there. I can't even think of his name right now.
In New Orleans?
Yeah, in New Orleans.
It would be between Ingram. Yeah, I think
they have a Pat.
There's another guy?
Oh, yeah. Always a guy.
That's why I didn't draft anybody.
It was C.J. Spiller, wasn't it?
On the running back.
It was C.J. Spiller.
I know he was there at one point.
With the Chiefs now, yeah.
He's not there anymore. I'm trying to think. I can't think of the kid's name.
Well, while you're looking that up, it sounds like this should be the first game we dive into. I thought we were going to start off with Chiefs New England, but we'll get back to that. We'll put a thumbtack in that. I watched the Sarah Silverman special on Netflix last night, and she must have said put a thumbtack in it like 7 different times. I don't know. I find her very funny. So I'm probably going to say it 70 million times on the show today, but we'll put a thumbtack in the Kansas City New England game and get to this game here.
Running tally right now, that's 2.
Yeah, that is 2. Absolutely. So we're looking at New Orleans here, Minnesota Vikings, trying to get to the specifics here. Where are you? Man, we're having all kinds of issues looking up stuff today.
Well, I could tell you that Minnesota is a -3.5.
Oh, because they're on Monday night, so we're working truly backwards. Yeah, New Orleans at Minnesota, 7:10. It's the early Monday night football game, U.S. Bank Stadium, Minneapolis. Who do you see winning this game besides who we've covered so far, who's fantasy-relevant players, and what's some key matchups you guys want to look at here?
Travardis Cadet is the player.
Yes, Cadet.
I was thinking of. Third down back there in New Orleans. Good pass-catching back's got a little bit of speed and elusiveness to him. Also, Kendall Hunter's on that roster, so that's another back to keep in mind, a little scat back type.
Another reason why you shouldn't be drafting any Saints running backs this year.
See, I completely disagree with that, though, because someone's got to punch it in from the
It's the same situation with the Eagles, too. Who's getting the ball? That's my problem with drafting running backs with 6 different starting running backs on their team.
Yeah.
It's not about, but in those situations, it's not about who starts. It's about who finishes. Who's that guy punching it into the end zone?
Well, that could be Kamara.
Who's that guy that's going to salt away the game?
Game 1.
No, it's not going to be.
It's going to be game 1. It's going to be all AP.
Yeah, every game's going to be all
every
AP.
Other game, you still got Ingram. As long as he doesn't fumble the ball, he's going to have a lot more carries too. So.
Yeah, but, let's be real, though. Adrian Peterson's going to be the guy polishing off drives. You didn't give him the money. You didn't bring in a name like Adrian Peterson to not have him put his name up in the red zone, in the end zone.
Yeah, but other teams would have paid for him too if if he was really going to be pounding it. So.
Oh, true. Well, but you're not. But you're not paying for Adrian Peterson 350 carries.
You're paying for a torn ACL, AP.
No, you're paying for 200 carries, 10 touchdowns, AP.
Yeah, possibly.
Probably. That's what I foresee.
It's too risky for me. Too risky for me.
Hey, man, you got to risk it for the biscuit, baby.
I know.
It's going to be interesting to see how this shapes out over the course of the season, and certainly we'll get tipped off to where they're at least starting from on Monday night.
Absolutely. I look at this game. You know what I mean. You got a really solid Minnesota defense, very stout front seven. All around, secondary's very, very stout. They don't let big plays get behind them. They keep everything in front. They're a bend but don't break defense. They'll let you move the ball down the field to a point, and then they'll just put the hammer down to stop you. What I'm interested in seeing in this game is what New Orleans can do to continue those drives when they try to put the hammer down.
Right.
Can Drew Brees hit Coby Fleener in the slot? Or running down the seam, can he find? Does he have enough time to find? His other weapons down the field, Brandon Coleman. Michael Thomas, thank you.
Ted Ginn Jr. now coming in.
Yeah, Ted Ginn Jr. for the first couple games. Willie Snead
Willie
once
Snead
he comes
was
back
suspended.
off suspension.
Mm-hmm.
But in this game, obviously no Snead, so you have to rely more on Coleman, more on Ginn. But I don't know. For some reason, I just don't think Minnesota has enough on offense to get this done. I think that New Orleans' offense eventually just starts to wear on them, especially Adrian Peterson being so motivated in this game. I think he starts the party early, and I think he just kind of keeps it rolling often,
He has to. Like I said, AP is a great play for this week. They're just going to keep dishing him the ball all game.
Yeah, they're just going to force feed him, and he's going to be happy to do it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think he has a 200-yard game to open the season. I really do.
Wow.
That's asking for a lot.
No, it's not.
Get him in your FanDuel lineups. Get him in your DraftKings lineups.
I honestly, I think I would as maybe a flex or like an RB2. I definitely would take a flyer on AP game one, only because he's that motivated to show it to Minnesota. I think he gets a huge game like that.
Right.
But don't get it twisted. I don't think he's done. I think he has a big year just to show people he's not done yet.
I ain't dead yet, just like Richard Pryor, right?
Truth be told, like Ric Flair.
Yeah.
I ain't dead yet,
True.
motherfuckers. I ain't dead yet.
Good seeing him back up on his feet.
Yeah.
Nate.
Woo!
I kind of want to see how the Saints defense is this year. I mean, they went out in the draft and they drafted a couple key positions that they needed, and see how they mold together. See how they bonded this training camp and see if they improved at all. That's one of the things I'm looking forward to, because the Saints team could easily be a playoff team offensively anyway. We just needed to work on that defense.
That's every year, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ever since their bounty, whatever the hell was that called?
Bounty Gate or whatever
Yeah.
it was. Yeah.
Everything's
Freaking-
gate. Now I heard Zeke Gate today. I'm like, stop it. Stop it already.
Hey, I'll pay you $25,000 to knock that guy out. That's when the Saints were good, when they were trying to kill people.
That's right. So I didn't hear any predictions, though. And I'm sorry, I'm buried deep trying to share a lot of the show. And so who do you guys got? You got Saints, got Vikings there, first game on Monday night.
It's going to be different with them being in Minnesota. I think it would probably – I mean, I'm not saying I think the Saints are going to actually win this game, but I think this game is going to be closer than people think. But if it was in New Orleans, I think it'd be a blowout just because of the stadium behind them and everything else. So.
Right.
But overall, I think the Saints will win this game by a short margin.
Yeah, I mean, that's truth be told. I mean, Saints did struggle on the road and had some great home cooking down in New Orleans, which I've never been down in New Orleans. Great food. But on the road, they've struggled, but you think they have enough firepower against the Vikings here.
Yeah, I mean, every year they have one of the best offenses in the league. So, I mean, with Breezy as their quarterback, they'll be fine. I think they could do it.
I agree. I think the Saints win this one by a field goal.
I disagree with both of you. I don't think this game's close. I think they win by 17. Not only do I think they win by 17, this year is going to be a lot different because they actually have a guy that can close out the game. They didn't have a guy that can close out a game. I mean, Mark Ingram's a very good running back, but he's not a closer. Like, Adrian Peterson's a closer. You give him the ball and you're up late in the game and you start force feeding that man, he just starts running people over. He starts picking up chunk yards. He doesn't, not those 4, 5 yard, 6 yard games like Mark Ingram does. Adrian Peterson's ripping off 10, 12, 14 yard gains because that's what AP does.
That's what he does.
All right. He does.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in agreement with you guys here. I mean, certainly they got enough weapons here. I'm not sold on AP as much as Doug is. I think Ingram has something to say in this game as well. I think it's going to take both backs to keep the Vikings from just, playing nickel most of the game, trying to cover the Michael Thomas, not Willie Snead being suspended, but even Ted Ginn, who has got, track speed. Let's face facts. So as long as they keep it balanced, I think they pull off the Monday night victory and start off 1-0.
But Minnesota's offense isn't that bad too. I mean, you still got Adam Thielen, Stefan Diggs, and then you got Dalvin Cook now and Latavius Murray at running back. So I mean, don't count them out. I still think, like I said, the Saints are probably going to win this game. But
Don't forget, I mean, Sam Bradford loves throwing to his tight end, and Kyle Rudolph really is one of the top tight ends in the league.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It's going to be a closer game than people.
That's why I'm saying the same thing too. I'm not counting out that offense.
I wouldn't count out that offense, but they did nothing to improve their weakest link in that team, which is the offensive line. They were a very porous offensive line. I mean, part of the reason why they even have Sam Bradford in the first place because they let Teddy Bridgewater get murdered. Who, by the way, they're actually expecting him to possibly be back by like week 8.
That would be
so that would be like one of those things. Now you might have a quarterback controversy mid-season.
Yeah.
But going back to this game, like my problem with the Minnesota offense, I don't see them being able to keep Sam Bradford upright long enough for him to be able to actually move the ball down the field consistently, and even last a full season for that matter. Because we know he's Mr. Glass too, like. So that's why I don't see them being able to stay in this game, only because I don't see them being able to sustain enough drives to keep up with New Orleans. Because I don't think this defense, even though it's great, I don't think they stop them from putting up points on too many drives.
No.
Right. Agreed. All right, so let's go move the chain along, for the Facebook Live people here, because we will be first segment Facebook Live to get the rest of the game breakdowns, to get our DFS recommendations, fresh or stale. You're going to have to transfer over to YouTube. We'll post the link in the comments, no worries. So let's get through some more rattling off games here in the first segment. We'll stick with Monday night, and then we'll work our way backwards. The second game, 10:20 p.m. in Mile High out in Denver. Los Angeles Chargers, still sounds weird saying that, at Denver Broncos. How do you guys see this game shaping up? What's some key matchup and what's some fantasy players we should get in our lineups?
That's tough.
It
I'm not really a fan of Denver's offense, so I mean it's against a defense that's pretty poor itself, but
sounds like playing Denver's defense.
No,
maybe.
I like Denver's defense, but
You know what, though? These games are always closer than –
it's a division game.
Yeah, it's a division game. These guys play each other tough. They're always mediocre scoring games, too. They're always in the mid-20s.
Yeah.
So it's like you almost don't want to trust the defense because they're not going to get you a ton of points, but they might get you a defensive touchdown here and there because it always seems to be one of them in these games. Always seems to be. I don't know, man. Like I would probably play Emmanuel Sanders in this game, though, definitely for Denver.
Yeah.
I would definitely play him. If you're in like a much deeper format, or if you're in like a 2 tight end league, something like that, maybe a sneaky play. A sneaky play on the Denver side is maybe an AJ Derby. He could sneak in a few catches, some yards.
I don't like that matchup though. Tight end again. I mean, I think if one thing they do well, I think it's they cover the tight end, though. I think he gets taken out of the game a little bit.
They do cover the tight end relatively well, but they do allow a lot of tight end touchdowns in the red zone.
Okay.
They don't allow a ton of yardage per se, but they do let up receptions and they do let up scores because they just lose track of them at that point. So, I mean, in terms of that, I like AJ Derby in the red zone. Bigger target. He's a guy who catches the ball well in traffic, doesn't mind taking a hit, and he'll hang on to the football.
Sure.
Something Denver does lack in that offense because Demaryius Thomas doesn't like to get hit when he catches football. We all know this.
Yeah,
truth.
In terms of San Diego, I don't necessarily. I'm avoiding Phillip Rivers in this game. However, I do like Melvin Gordon here. Denver's front seven is a little bit more susceptible to the run. They're a lot smaller in the middle at that defensive tackle spot than they've been in years past, and they've lost some of that depth at linebacker that they've had at years past that could really step up and stuff that run. So I do like Melvin Gordon in this game. Maybe a little Hunter Henry action too. Maybe for him a little Hunter Henry, maybe catch a touchdown pass somewhere in this game. But I'm almost saying to avoid San Diego receivers in this game. I do think that the Denver corners are just they're very good. They're great at man-to-man cover. I don't see them getting too many big plays in this game.
Yeah, I mean, you took the words right out of my mouth here. If you're going to play anything on the Chargers side, you're playing Melvin Gordon. You're playing their running game because look at what Denver did last year. I mean, I know personnel has changed. You can't go solely based on that. But when you're starting off your fantasy football leagues, that's what sort of what you have to go by. What did they do last year? How well did they do last year? Denver was the top-ranked defense against quarterbacks last year, so I don't expect big things out of their passing game. Do they have the weapons in Tyrell Williams, Keenan Allen? Those are the key matchups that I'm excited to see. How successful are they against these tough Denver cornerbacks?
Yeah, I'm happy to see Keenan Allen back on the field.
Oh,
for sure.
yeah, amen.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't get hurt again.
Yeah, but you know what though, Champ Bailey might shoot him in the leg.
I mean, this is I think this is a bit of a tough matchup. I mean, I would absolutely avoid Charger wide receivers because Denver is coming off a season where they were one of the best passing defenses in all of football, and I don't like Denver's passing game. I don't think Trevor Siemian is anything special, and I don't like Denver's running backs. And C.J. Anderson's a good running back, but Jamal Charles, he's going to be sharing time with Jamal Charles, who I don't know how he made the team, but he did.
Isn't he the third down back basically, Jamal Charles?
I think he's going to be.
Yeah, so like would you hold him any fantasy value at all as a third down back, knowing how explosive he can be? Or is he kind of just shot?
I'm not saying he's shot, but he's too injury prone. I wouldn't necessarily look for him unless you're desperate for a running back.
Could be a value play in particular weeks, good matchups in DFS.
Absolutely, if the matchup's right, absolutely.
You know, you're trying to save some money, you know what I mean, for that RB2 or what have you. We got Tyler Hooper on the book chiming in. He's excited to see Packers versus Seahawks, so maybe we'll get to that game next after we get done dissecting this. Thanks, Tyler. Appreciate that. Anybody coming in on Facebook Live, Bri?
We got two. We got Tom Arnone is excited for the Eagles-Redskins, and we have Alex Acasio commenting in EAGLES Eagles. So I would assume he's excited for the Eagles-Redskins as well.
Damn, they know how to spell.
Eagles are stoked.
Yeah.
It's almost as hard as JETS. Jets.
Yeah, right.
I don't think anybody's going to be chanting that this year.
Oh no, they'll be chanting that. They'll be chanting that on the way out the building and stuff when they're going to burn some jerseys. JETS.
What I think is remarkable is that you got Eagles, Redskins, and you got Giants, Cowboys, NFC East facing off real bright and early week one.
Yeah. Same thing with the Steelers division.
Yeah.
We got Steelers, Browns, and Bengals, Ravens. So
nice.
A lot of division games.
Kick it off, get that animosity rolling.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I see Greg here chiming in, and he's excited for Chiefs versus the GOAT. I like that. I like that a lot.
I don't even know how much of a game that's actually going to be.
What? Dude, that's going to be my surprise, my friend. I think that's going to probably be one of the closest games of the week.
I agree. I think that's a great matchup to kick off the week.
Even
really
Patriots be a 9 favorite.
Oh no! First off, I'm taking the Chiefs, and I'm taking the Chiefs there.
I like it. I'm right with you on it.
They're not covering 9. Secondly, like, you got to understand something, and this is one thing about early season football that's so tough, and it's what makes it on any fantasy prognosticator very tough. You really don't know where teams are the very first week or two of the season because defenses are always ahead of the offense. You know, defenses are always ready to go right out the gate week one for the most part. You know, they're all hitting. They're all ready to rock and roll. They know what their assignments are, where they're supposed to be. Offenses, they're still getting into the flow of things because most of these guys haven't really played all that much in the preseason. They haven't really had that much contact with other players. And now you're not getting hit by guys on your own team. You're getting hit by somebody that's getting paid to hit you. So, like, you know, defenses are always ready to rock. Offenses are a little sluggish. I can see, especially with Kansas City's offense not necessarily being the most, like, dominant offense going. But because of that strong defense, strong Patriots defense, that game could be like 16-10.
Yeah.
I could definitely see that.
Absolutely. A couple of YouTube comments here. What's that? Joe Tardo or Todardo or Todar. I'm totally butchering your name, Joe, but thanks for chiming in. What's up, everyone? What's up? What's going on with you? We got LMNB Hoops going Steelers 12-4. Actually, make that 14-12 or 2.
You're crazy.
Realistically, where you see the Steelers?
I see. I like the 12-4. I would say 11-5 at worst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So okay.
Yeah, they're winning that division again.
Okay.
They have to. I mean, I like what they did with Joe Hayden. Now they got J.J. Wilcox as well.
Right.
You know, trying to spike up that backfield a little bit, which is our biggest weakness. So
Sure.
everything else looks pretty solid. Offense is going to be top 5 in the league. So
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, barring injuries, yeah.
yeah, exactly. I mean, no injuries to any key players, and we'll look pretty good. I don't see 14-2. One of them losses are coming to New England, week 13 or whatever it is.
I don't think so, man. I think you got that game covered. I do think you guys are like 12-4.
Not
though.
with their offense.
I can see 12-4.
Here's an interesting one. I got Jeff Kuhn chiming in on Facebook. He's looking forward to the Ravens and Bengals.
Good game.
It is a good game.
That's always a smash mouth football game. That's my style of football.
Yeah.
It's a good call there,
But there's
bro.
no perfect.
Yes,
So
sir.
nobody's getting killed.
I think that'll be a great
Yeah.
game to watch. I don't think many fantasy plays come out of that game, though. I don't
Fantasy
see him.
defenses and kickers,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm playing
Tucker.
my man.
He might pop up on my fresh list later on. We'll see. Andrew White was answering your question from earlier. He said Henderson, Saints running back.
Carlos Henderson. Yeah, he's one of the other kids. I
One
don't
of the
think
other
he's
6.
Yeah, but I don't think he's actually has an established role. But I can look into that further.
Another team I haven't
depth
messed with,
chart.
running backs.
Let's get back to, like I said, Tyler Hooper. Very interested in seeing the Seattle at Green Bay game, 4:25 Sunday at Lambeau Field. Real quickly before we hit the break, guys, let's get some picks for this game. Let's give them some key fantasy players before we wrap it up and move on to YouTube.
I'm actually going to take Green Bay at home.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Green Bay is a -3. The game might even be closer than that.
Right.
So, yeah, I like Green Bay. And, Jordy's definitely going to get most of the coverage, so I would like Devontae Adams in this game more. I'm staying away from Green Bay's running backs, though.
Yeah.
And by the way, it looks
Until you
like
see how that shapes out, really.
Yeah.
And it looks like, in fact, Cadet has been moved back on the depth chart. It looks like Alvin Kamara might actually get an opportunity as one of the third down backs.
Oh,
Nice.
Jesus.
So-
Another reason why you don't draft Saints running backs.
Nah, man, I'll still give me Adrian Peterson all day.
Jumping back to Green Bay and Seattle, I kind of like Randall Cobb. I think he's going to open up a lot more with all the coverage going towards Jordy Nelson. And we all know Aaron Rodgers loves spreading the ball out.
Right.
I still don't like that Seattle offense. I do like Russell Wilson a little more, but he has nobody to throw to, especially now since Jermaine Kearse was traded to the Jets for Sheldon Richardson, which I think is a great deal for
Great
Seattle's
deal.
defense.
I think
an
Doug
amazing
Baldwin becomes a target
Yeah, Doug
monster. in
Baldwin.
that
Oh,
game.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
He's
Jimmy Graham now.
Yeah.
I mean, Jimmy Graham's got to have a year. And, Green Bay's defense, granted, they were one of the worst passing coverage defenses last year, but I still think that overall, Aaron Rodgers, I think he'll get it done.
Yeah.
I'm definitely steering clear of the running game on both sides of that for both teams.
Yeah,
Seattle has
agreed.
none. I mean, you can probably make an argument for Ty Montgomery, but I still don't think he's going to do anything.
no.
Not with
No,
Sheldon.
not
Not with
with
Sheldon
Sheldon.
Richardson
now,
coming in.
Yeah, now that Richardson's there's no way.
No. I do expect a lot of points in this game. Not a lot, but I expect a good amount of points in this game. I do remember their matchup last year with Seattle won in Green Bay. I do expect the exact same result in this matchup. I expect Seattle to actually win this game.
I'm with you on this, man. I am with you on this.
If I'm going to make any fantasy plays in this game, I'm definitely taking Russell Wilson in this game. I'm playing him. I think I'm actually going to avoid Aaron Rodgers in this game because I think Aaron Rodgers does turn the ball over a few times. If you have individual defensive players to play in this game, I'm starting Bobby Wagner for sure. I'm definitely starting Richard Sherman and Earl Thomas because I do believe one or both of these players do end up with a turnover and creating a turnover in this game.
Sure.
And I'm actually starting Ty Montgomery because I do think he punches the ball in the end zone in this game.
I was going to say the
And-
one running back in that backfield because he's so versatile. They
Yeah.
can move him in. He could work in between the seams, really.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially if he's in a PPR league, I am definitely starting Ty Montgomery in PPR this
Right.
week. I do see him getting a lot of catches.
I just think it's going to be a lower scoring game than most will think. I mean, certainly, I'm not looking at the Vegas over-under. I don't even know if that's out yet.
That's out.
It is out.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever it is, I'm going under. I don't care. It could be 12 points. I'm going under. No,
Nah, I would
no, not that far. But I do think that it's going to be under whatever they set it at.
So that game, by the way, opened at 5.5.
Yeah, they're now -3 Green Bay.
Yeah, it's now at -3 for the Bay. I'm definitely taking Seattle.
Yeah.
Taking Seattle.
Do they have the over-under on that?
Over under 50.5?
Yeah, definitely under.
50.5. Wow.
50.5. I'm taking the over.
Taking the over?
I'm taking the over on the 50.5, and I'm taking Seattle.
This is the same guy that was saying Seattle's defense is back, but you still think Packers can punch up some points?
Well, it's just because they did last year. I believe in last year's matchup, they scored over 50 points. I think they scored over 60 points, actually, because I believe it was like a 31-20. I believe it was like 31-23 was the final.
Right.
Which is
Sounds pretty close.
Yeah,
Right.
a closer game, but it was definitely more points were on the board. I could see something very similar to that score, maybe 30, maybe like 34-24 or something like that.
Sure. Let me get your guys 2 picks in this game, then we're going to go pay some bills, come back. If you're joining us only on Facebook Live, we're going to wrap up our Facebook Live coverage here, but jump right on, search a2dradio.com on YouTube. You can jump in. We still got so many more games to go through and dissect. Fantasy plays, also our Fresh or Stale, which will be great for DFS recommendations for this weekend, as well as league play. So, Brian, who do you got, Seattle or Green Bay?
I like Green Bay. I think Green Bay's offense is a little bit more powerful, and there's more weapons than Seattle has. So I like Green Bay. I like Green Bay by a touchdown. I like Green Bay to buy a touchdown.
Okay.
Maybe like 28-21.
I like it. Diversity.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm also going Green Bay as well. I think it's closer. I mean, with their -3, they lose because I think that's how close the game is. It's going to be like a 1 or 2 point game.
Sure. Okay. Hey, we're split right down the middle, right where the table ends.
Yep.
Beautiful new table, too.
It is.
At the BMW of Atlantic City Studios. Today's Fantasy Dominance Now is being brought to you by the Soap Stash. As always, they are the new soap standard. And they remind you to treat your skin with the best nutrients and feel clean with the only soap you'll ever need. They use only the highest grade carrier oils and are ingraining CBD oils in a lot of their products, which is great for anxiety, depression, just feeling good. Treat your whole family, your kids, adults, anyone in your family with the best 100% natural soaps, shampoos, anything you need for cosmetics, anything you need for hygiene. Contact Soap Stash today for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can call them 844-890-3197. Look up their selection of products on soapstash.com. And for ordering information, sales, to order right on Messenger, hit them up on the book. Soap Stash LLC. They are the new soap standard. That you're listening to Fantasy Dominance Now, only on a2dradio.com.
Welcome in to the worldwide leader of what? Real talk, a2dradio.com.
A2dradio.com is proudly sponsored by Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Tom and Mike from AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's gibsonmayer.com.
Hey, do you need to get your skills in shape? Then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard. A2DRadio.com is sponsored by The Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
You're listening to Fantasy Dominance Now, only on A2DRadio.com.
Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard.
You're listening to Fantasy Dominance Now, only on A2DRadio.com.
And welcome back to today's Fantasy Dominance Now, only on A2DRadio.com. Brian Daly, Mike Kleinkoff. No, you're not Rob Povey. I'm Rob Povey. It's Doug Pitchford.
No, I could be Rob Povey today. That's fine.
Okay, we'll switch roles.
And this is Doug Pitchford.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Fantasy Dominance Now, here only on A2DRadio.com.
Matt Sinsudi's still in the producer's chair, bringing you all the dominance. If you want in on the dominance, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You search A2DRadio.com. Now, if you got specific questions, tweet us with the hashtag AskFDN or comment on the book.
See, you're better than me. I was about to just jump right into the lead.
Well, since we're going to be switching roles now, Doug, you were completely wrong about Green Bay and Seattle.
Yes, you were, Doug. You were completely wrong.
Right.
They blew them out last year.
Yeah, Green Bay at home blew out Seattle 38-10, and that was a game Russell Wilson had 5 interceptions.
Right. I do see. Right. And mind you,
I see improvement.
I
don't think Wilson will ever have a 5 interception game again in his career. But Doug, you need to wake up. No.
They're straight sleeping.
No, that was a bad game with him. I mean, granted, there were injuries involved in that game. He was missing a few key offensive weapons in that contest. It was trying to do too much and was injured himself for that matter.
Sure.
But week 1, healthy. I think it'll be not a complete reverse, but it'll be a lot more of the reverse.
Sure.
I'm still sticking by my thing. I'm taking the over, and I'm taking Seattle outright by 3. They're at home, I believe. Yeah.
At Green Bay.
Or at Green Bay again. Yeah. They got revenge factor.
Just real quick, Jason Myers commented on Facebook Live just before we signed off. I wanted to get to this. Cool. It's a little bit of a lengthy comment, but
roll it.
All right. So he said subject.
Uh-oh.
Fantasy lineup creation for week 1, DFS GPP play.
Ooh.
So are you starting the double stud running backs Johnson and Bell in your lineups? And do you think you can win? He says, quote, win anything if you do. Certainly you can expect this to be a very popular play. Sure, it might be cash, but win a GPP, I tend to doubt it. Fade one, fade both. Part of me says I don't want to just wake up Monday and see that Johnson Bell had great games and wonder if I didn't have it. Part of me says, how could I have played this chalk again? Have I learned nothing? Any thoughts, Jay?
Well, yeah, it's definitely chalky. Definitely chalky. But I don't know. If I'm fading any of these guys, I'm fading your boy Bell. He just came in. Didn't have a full complement of the preseason. I expect him to kind of get off to a slow start in this game, and he's still got that high salary, so I don't think you're going to hit value there, especially in GPPs. If you want to play both of these backs in cash games, I'm not going to hate you on it, but in GPPs, too chalky, and if I'm going to fade one of them, I'll fade Bell.
See, I'm going opposite. Honestly, I think Bell is going to be completely fine. I know he's the most expensive, definitely. I'm pretty sure in DraftKings. And it's also against the Browns defense. And, listen, Ben Roethlisberger had 2 series the whole preseason. And that's all he needed. And, these guys have worked together for years. I think everything's going to be fine. They still have a whole week to get together. And, I think everything's fine. I think Detroit's defense is probably a little bit better.
Especially with
overall.
the addition in Paul Warlow on the playing that weak side backer.
Yeah, both of these guys could definitely have huge games, but I'm looking at somebody else in the Cardinals game, and it's not their running back, so we'll get to that a little bit later.
I like it.
I think I know exactly where you're going with that, and I'm kind of in agreement there.
Actually, DJ on FanDuel at least is $100 more, $9,400 on FanDuel. Le'Veon Bell, $9,300. Obviously, the most too expensive on this weekend slate.
Yeah, it's too chalky. I'm not gonna play both. To the point of the matchup, I would lean towards Bell because it is a better matchup. However, it does concern me a little bit that he hasn't practiced at all in the preseason. I'm a little concerned about that. I do think they limit his snaps because of that.
They very well could, yeah.
So because of the limited snaps, he's going to probably be a little bit more limited in production level. So for the price tag, I don't think it's worth it. I'm going to roll with DJ. And if I can actually give you 2 suggestions, I would actually tell you one, either go with Isaiah Crowell in that same game because I do like him against Pittsburgh. I don't like Pittsburgh's front 7 against the run. I don't like Pittsburgh front. Again, I know you're a Steelers fan, but I just don't like their front 7 against the run. I think Cleveland's offensive line is much improved. So I would go him. I would lean towards him. Maybe sprinkle in a Jordan Howard if you want to feel froggy. Or, this is probably going to be the safer play, the safest play or plays. Either Todd Gurley or Melvin Gordon. Or, Devontae Freeman this week. Either one of those 2 guys paired with a DJ, you're going to save yourself some money. More importantly, you're going to get that top 3, top 5 production out of both players.
Makes sense. Let's roll along the schedule, gentlemen, if we will. This portion of the show being brought to you by Gibson Mayer LLC, your certified public accountants. Give them a call, schedule appointment, 215-369-3300. Woo! So let's finally get to this Thursday night game, kicking it off. The Super Bowl champion New England Patriots hosting the Kansas City Chiefs. How do you guys see this game working out? Let's focus in on the fantasy relevant players that we can drop in our leagues, in DFS leagues.
Well, we have Julian Edelman.
Well, before I get into the fantasy relevance, can I just drop real quick the lines? This game opened at an under of 50, and New England giving 8. Currently, it's at 48.5, so it's dropped a 1.5, and it's New England giving 9.
They're still giving 9.
They're still
right?
giving 9, yeah. So they gained a point. So I mean, Vegas is saying that New England should win this game comfortably, and they think they're going to win this game so comfortably they're pushing the line back. I personally think Vegas is telling you to bet on New England because they really think Kansas City is going to squeak in there. And if they do lose this game, they'll lose it by 7 or less. So
you're saying it's closer than the line is indicating?
I'm saying it's closer than the line is indicating, especially with the factors I mentioned earlier, with defenses being ahead of offenses right now.
Sure.
The fact that they did just lose Julian Edelman. They are integrating Brandon Cooks as the number 1 guy, so you're going to see some hiccups there. I mean, granted, you still have Gronk, who's Gronk, but
And they also acquired Dwayne Allen. What's his name? Dorsett, right, from the Colts.
Philip Dorsett. Yeah, but these are all players that you're still integrating into the system.
Yeah, but you still got Hogan. What's his name?
Chris Hogan's there. Malcolm Mitchell's there.
Malcolm Mitchell. I was about to say
Danny
Butler,
Amendola's there. I mean, they have guys. They got guys, but I don't know. I mean, Edelman's a big part of that offense too, and I think because he's the most consistent big part of that offense that's always there, I think the offense is going to sputter a little bit more than usual in the beginning of the season. So that's why I think this game is closer than people think.
I mean, they don't call him the GOAT for nothing,
right?
I think, I think they will win this game. I think the spread is definitely a little high. I even think the Steelers spread against the Browns is a little too high, possibly. But
right,
yeah, we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah, we will. But I still like New England. You
better watch your job.
You're not losing. You're not, or I should say, you're not going to beat Brady at home week 1. You're not doing it.
You're not doing
I just
it.
don't see it. I think 2 guys you're going to see go off in this game: Brandon Cooks and James White. Absolutely go off in this game.
I could see that. I think Brandon Cooks has a solid game. I definitely play him in PPR. I think Gronk goes off in this game. If there's one New England guy, if there's one New England guy you know is going to get it, it's going to be Gronk.
Sure. Now on the other side for Kansas City, don't be unabashed to play some of those guys as well, because especially if it does work out the way the line is indicating on the surface, well, then Kansas City's going to be playing catch up. I think that's great for guys like Tyreek Hill. I think that could be potentially good for Kareem Hunt. But despite it being his job, you still don't know how that's going to shape out in gameplay yet. So I'm playing him in my fantasy leagues. For DFS, I might shy away from Kareem Hunt until I see exactly how that's going to roll out.
New England was 8th for DraftKings points against running backs.
Okay.
So they were one of the best, and same for tight ends. They were top 10.
Sure.
Yeah. But they do get victimized by the better ones in the league, though. I mean, we've seen that when they've played when they played teams with elite tight ends. We've seen them get victimized a little bit. Like when they played San Diego. What was it? 2 years ago. Antonio Gates had a nice little game against them.
They always will. I mean, every team does.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So I'm not shying away from playing Travis Kelce on the other side of this matchup.
No, you can't.
Not at all. Not at all. I mean, I'm playing him I might even play him DFS too. I think that he would be, if there's one guy who I know is probably going to score in this game for Kansas City in terms of receiving touchdowns, it's probably going to be Travis Kelce because he's your biggest red zone target.
I'll take that all day, man. I don't care. I'll take it.
Yeah. Truth be told. But no, I think in this game, though, I'm actually going to play the defenses. That's really where I'm leaning towards. I believe there's going to be a special teams touchdown in this game, and I do think it actually comes from Kansas City. And I do think they force a few turnovers of Brady, so I'm leaning towards actually playing Kansas City's defense here in this matchup. I don't think they run up the score per se, but they're going to give up some points. But I think Brady's going to look un-Brady-like. Brady's going to look a little old in this game. And I think he does turn the ball over a couple times, maybe 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Maybe he loses a fumble on a strip sack. But that's what keeps the game close.
Real quick, I want to give some love to Jason MM92 saying, thanks for the answers, Jets. Fans for life. Thank you. Appreciate it. Fan for life.
Love. That's what's up, man.
Keep the questions coming. That's what we're here for.
DraftKings Chiefs defense is the 4th cheapest defense for this slate. So
I'm telling you,
if you want to take the risk, I mean, hey,
I don't think
you
it's
could
a
build
risk.
up. You could build up on your wide receivers and running backs. So
I don't see it as a risk though, because like I said, early season offenses always are much slower than defenses, and you're talking about a New England offense with way too many important pieces that are new.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you. I just think it's
Right, I feel you.
it's a little risky. I mean, I could tell you nobody else is going to have him but you, but no.
Right, but I mean, listen, I'm not saying it's not a ballsy play, but I'm just saying, I mean, like in a fantasy league, I'm definitely playing Kansas City's defense this week because I do believe they put up solid points. DFS, I'm recommending to play them because you know what? Not that many people are going to, and I do believe they'll be a top 5 scoring defense this week. So I'm saying to roll with it. And I would roll with New England's too. I wouldn't be scared to go both ways either way in that game on terms of defense. I'm sure New England's top 3 though in terms of pricing for this week.
Yeah, they were 3,400 on DraftKings.
Yeah, so I mean, if you need to save some money, flip the matchup. If you got the money, go roll with New England because they're going to win the game.
Yeah. No, I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel you. So you're going with that. That's your pick for the game?
Yeah, I'm going with New England, but if you're betting on this game, I'm taking Kansas City on the spread.
Get the points.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm agreeing there. I mean, I will disagree eventually, but I think that's a good diagnosis of the game. Mikey, who you got winning this game?
Yeah, I got New England.
New England?
Like I'm with Doug as well. I think the spread's definitely way too much.
Right.
But I can't go against Brady at home.
Yeah, that's the thing. You just can't do it.
No.
Just can't do it. The GOAT. They call him the GOAT for the reason. You're on that train too, Brian?
I'm on that train too. I think New England's going to win it. I think they're going to look pretty damn good. I think they're going to look like a well-oiled machine. I mean, Bill Belichick is one of the best coaches in the league, if not NFL history, for a reason. Tom Brady is hands down the best quarterback in the league and all time for a reason. They call him the GOAT for a reason. It doesn't matter who you put out there with him, he's going to make him look good.
Age ain't nothing but a number.
Age ain't nothing but a number, baby.
No, not with him.
Nah,
I mean, look at the old men going, man. They look good. Him, Breezy, they all look good, man.
Yeah, but he's older than all of them. He's the oldest.
Nah.
I mean, listen, we said that about Peyton, but when he came in age 41 season, I do believe he fell off the map.
That's what you see. You see a sharp decline, but they'll be very, very good up until and just hit that wall. So we'll see if that's this season or 5 seasons from now for TB12.
Yeah. I hope it's this year.
So
the Steelers have a freaking chance to make it to the Super Bowl.
Honestly,
Sure,
right? I really do believe it is. I mean, I've said this before. I do believe it is.
Could be. Well, let's talk about 2 teams that aren't going to be sniffing the Super Bowl this year, and it's the first game, 1 o'clock, New York at Buffalo. I don't even know if we really want to talk about this game.
We have to. Because
though.
there's guys in this game that you have to play.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Is there? Who do we got to play?
Shady.
Yeah,
Shady.
Shady.
I think you
Gotta
should
play
pay
Shady.
for him this week.
Gotta play Shady.
I think he's 82 on DraftKings.
I believe you're right. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, them losing Richardson with that Jets front line, I think.
I don't think that's even an impact. They're so deep on that front line, though.
They
You have
but
so
I mean,
many guys on that line.
With the possibility of Nathan Peterman being their quarterback, I think they're going to rely a lot more heavily on the run game, and Jordan Matthews with his chest problem as well. He already says he is going to play Week 1, but it's a different team. I think they're going to definitely rely a lot on Shady.
I agree with that.
He's got to be. I think he's your RB1 this week, honestly.
The only thing that concerns me about that is that Jets front 7 is still very, very good, and that Jets defense as a whole is very, very
They're
good.
pretty solid, but I mean, I think he's going to get the majority of the snaps.
Oh, of course.
Plays,
I think he does more of his damage in the air, so in PPR leagues, and obviously in daily with it being a PPR format, I think he's going to be a quality play. But he does more of his damage in the air this week than he does on the ground, because I don't think he gets much done against that Jets front 7. I really don't. That being said, Buffalo's winning this game. I mean,
no, they have to.
Yeah, they have to. If they don't, I mean, the Jets might actually win 2 games this year.
Yeah, the second one against Buffalo.
No. Tyrod will be back. They'll lose that game handily.
To support your point of playing Shady, he's going to get far less competition because over the weekend, this was the big surprise cut for me during this weekend, was the Buffalo Bills cutting Jonathan Williams, who looked pretty smooth last year, looked good in this preseason, and they just outright cut him or whatnot. He's still currently a free agent. We'll see what team he lands on, because you'd think that he would, or at least on somebody's practice squad. But he had there was talk that he could cut in the Shady's touches this year, and this was the talk against drafting LaShawn McCoy. Now it's no longer an issue. He's got no competition in that backfield.
No.
I think Jonathan Williams has an off-the-field issue, and I think that's why he was cut. And it just hasn't hit the news wire yet. Has to, because it's the only reason why teams haven't touched him yet. He's too good of a young running back to not be scooped up by now.
We got Chunk Flex 158. We know who that is. New England with the win. Bold prediction, fellas. And he goes, uh-oh, got Shady in IDP league. I guess that'd be in your league.
Yeah,
there.
that'd be in my league. Yeah. Hey man,
Thanks,
Shady's
Mikey.
gonna be solid. Like I said though, he's not gonna get much done on the ground this week. Actually, I would play the Jets defense this week. Again, as a more value play, just because Buffalo's not putting up a ton of points. To your point, Nate Peterson's your starting quarterback.
Yeah, I mean,
And Shady's going to be running against 8 and 9 man fronts because Nate Peterson's your quarterback. Like, I'm just saying, that's not going to be a high-scoring game. Definitely play the Buffalo kicker, though, Dan Carpenter.
Yeah.
He's going to have a monster game. He's going to kick like 5 field goals.
It does shape up to be that type of game. So you're going Buffalo. Mikey, you're going Buffalo?
Yeah, I'm going Buffalo.
And if you're a degenerate gambler, I have to mention the degenerate gamblers. Buffalo is now an 8-point favorite in that game. I might take the Jets just because 8 points. I don't know if Buffalo can actually cover 8 points. I don't care how bad
I think
the
it's going to
Jets
be a very
are.
close game.
Yeah, I don't care
agree
how
with
bad
that.
the Jets are.
Hey, the over-under is 39.5, so.
Is it? I got 40
Yeah.
on mine, yeah.
That's low.
Yeah, it is.
Jets possibly pull up an upset, Brian, or are you going with Buffalo as well?
I might have to go with Buffalo. I think they have more offensive weapons. I think the running game with the Jets is going to be what keeps them alive, but I don't know. I think I like the Bills. This is a tough one.
It's tough because we still don't know what the status is of Tyrod Taylor yet. It was been out with a concussion. Is he going to be ready to play in this game? All the upper brass is saying yes, but not definitively. I think it's all going to rest on his arm and his legs. If Tyrod Taylor has to miss this game, I think the Jets win this game.
I want to agree with you. I really do. I want to, just because my dad's a Jets fan. I want to give him some hope. But the Jets are their defense is really good. They could have a borderline elite defense by the end of this year, but they're going to have one of the worst offenses in NFL history. Not just the season, just history. That offense is putrid. So I'm just going to say Buffalo just because they can actually score points.
Sure. Makes sense.
It's the only reason why I can say them.
Gotcha. All right, boys, let's move along here. Atlanta at Chicago, Soldier Field. Now, generally, Bears at home is a strong task to perform, but the Chicago Bears are a mess this year. I don't think there's a chance in hell that the Falcons don't win this game. Yeah. And even on the defensive side, I've seen Chicago go down, in my opinion. I would load up on Atlanta Falcons in your leagues and DFS leagues as well.
Yeah, I think
stack.
Yeah, I think this is I have to agree with that. This is the stack game. I know I did just say offenses, are usually much, much slower than defenses and everything else, but this is probably the one game where this is the exception to the offense being ready to rock and roll. Atlanta's got something to prove. Matty Ice and all of these players have been working in the offseason. This is a completely coming back unit that didn't lose any starters off their 11 from last year, which is impressive in today's NFL. So when you come back with a full 11-man unit that knows what time it is, and knows how to rock and roll, and now knows what it is to get to the promised land, they're going to destroy Chicago. The over-under is 49.5. I'm taking the over. They're a 7-point favorite. I'm taking Atlanta outright with the 7. I think they actually win this game by at least 17. Not only that, I'm stacking Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, Devontae Freeman, or Tevin Coleman. I think they both score in this game.
I don't know.
Right.
I like it, and Atlanta's definitely going to win. But my big question mark is, how's Atlanta going to roll with this new offensive system? They don't have Kyle Shanahan anymore. They rolled with that offensive coordinator. What's this new guy going to bring? That's my only question. I think they definitely manhandle Chicago.
I mean, Steve Sarkisian, if there's one thing he does know how to do, he knows how to call a game. I mean, you've seen what he does he did at the University of Washington. We saw what he did at USC. All he did was get points put up on boards in a hurry. He knows how to utilize his talent. He knows how to utilize the skill sets of his talent. So I don't think that, if anything, that scoring points in Atlanta will be an issue at all. They have way too many weapons that do so many different things. I mean, Mohamed Sadu is like a Swiss Army knife. You got a burner in Taylor Gabriel, who's not afraid at his diminutive size to go over the middle and catch a tough ball. And then you got Julio Jones. Julio Jones.
Julio, yeah.
Yeah, and you have two running backs that could start anywhere in the league.
Yeah.
This team is going to put up a lot of points. They might even set an NFL record this year putting up points with Sarkisian at the helm.
Okay.
I've got the utmost confidence in their offense. Their defense is my question. I want to see if they actually stop somebody, because that's what cost them the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah.
They sleptwalk in the second half, and guess what? They couldn't stop They couldn't stop New England.
No, I mean, it's another reason why I say Tom Brady's one of the best in the league. He knows how to make those changes. But, with Atlanta losing Kyle Shanahan, man, I'm digging everything you're saying. I still want to see it.
Oh, agreed.
Because there's a lot of college coaches out there that make that transfer to the NFL, and they just can't do it.
Yeah.
I want to see if he's one of them.
I mean, but it's different when you're a head coach. Like the head coach thing, I do understand. Coordinators, you usually don't even notice a college coordinator in the NFL. Don't even notice them, because the only time you notice them was when they're putting up points, and it's like, oh, how are they getting so good? Oh, wait, that guy. I know that guy from college.
Okay.
So, that's just my thing. Plus, I mean, look at what Chip Kelly did. Granted, his teams weren't that great in the NFL. His teams put up points.
That's true.
I mean, San Francisco being a slight exception because that offense was just putrid. Putrid. But you know what? The defense wasn't too terrible.
Nah, I think that San Fran defense got better.
I
But we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Let's move along, boys, in the pecking order. I'm going to jump ahead a little bit. So we got a request for a dissection of the Tampa Bay at Miami game, 1 o'clock on Fox down in Miami, Hard Rock Stadium, apparently it's called now.
Real quick, though, is there any Chicago player, before we get into that game, is there any Chicago player we play besides maybe Jordan Howard?
Kevin White.
Maybe look for Kevin White, but other than that, no.
That's about it for me. A lot of people are flocking towards Zach Miller in this game because, with a weaker quarterback, usually a tight end gets a lot of targets. We'll readdress Zach Miller during Fresh or Stale later on.
I like it.
But, I'm in accordance with you guys there, absolutely. How do you see this game, Tampa Bay at Miami, shaping out? Do you think Jay Cutler hits the ground running with Adam Gase, or do you think this is the famous Jameis show on the road in Miami?
The Cutlet.
The Cutlet.
Oh, the Cutlet.
I mean, the Dolphins are actually a pretty tough team. I know nobody gives Cutler credit because of who he is, but, I mean, it's pretty good offense around him.
Right.
Yeah.
They got weapons, yeah.
They definitely have weapons, I mean, I still think Tampa Bay overall is the better team. I definitely like what they got a little bit better on their offense. They actually have a steady quarterback.
They have a leader.
Yeah. I mean, their run game with Jaquiz Rodgers is a little shaky. But other than that, I mean, they got O.J. Howard now, Cameron Brate still, Mike Evans, getting Deshaun Jackson. Their offense, to me, I think is just going to blow them out of the water. I think they beat the spread, too, of 2.5.
Qualifiable backup there, Jaquiz Rodgers with Doug Martin.
We saw him.
Out,
we saw him last year when Doug Martin was hurt. He came in and filled in great for him.
They did.
So he already knows the offense. It's not like a new guy coming into a new system. So I think he's going to do just fine.
I like it.
Yeah, I like this. I like Tampa Bay in this matchup. But Miami does have the weapons. They just brought in Julius Thomas, who I think is going to resurrect his career a little bit, show that he can still play. I like the addition of T.J. Howard. T.J. Ward to that Tampa Bay defense, solidifying that safety spot, and I think that's going to help. I think it's going to be a little
definitely helps.
I think it's going to definitely help that defense.
No, that was huge. That's like the one signing, even though it just happened like maybe 4 days ago. I mean, that's probably the biggest acquisition this all season for Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
They now have a true leader and a veteran presence, a guy who can sit there and put a hand up with rings on it and be like, yeah, this is how things are done. And everyone will shut up and listen.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Especially because it's T.J. Ward. I mean, I'm sorry. T.J. Ward, he has no problem with punching you in the face or stabbing you in the kidney or something. Like, it's T.J. Ward. I mean, he shot himself in the leg, for Christ's sakes. Those guys in Denver, man, they love shooting themselves and shit. Anyway, though, like.
Well, marijuana's legal there, so, I mean, I guess they can shoot themselves.
Well, no. I mean, no. T.J. Ward was shot. And, I mean, so was Atif Khalid. They were both shot by other people.
I don't recall ever injecting THC before, but I'll try it.
Supposedly, it's supposed to be done rectally, sir. Rectally.
Never mind. Just say no. Exit only. So, yeah, I mean, I got Tampa Bay in this game. I mean, it'll be a good contest. I think this is one of the games that I am excited to watch this weekend. And it's not just because I'm so high on Tampa Bay, because Tampa Bay is one of my sneaky picks for potentially representing the NFC. I'm not saying I'm going with that. Maybe we'll have to do another show where we do predictions towards the middle of the season. But if things come together there in Tampa Bay, they have all the ingredients for a nice recipe of success. And I think they get started off 1-0 on the road at Miami. Gentlemen agree, disagree?
Yeah.
I agree, but I mean, like, look at the spread, though. I mean, it opened at 48, opened over under 48, opened at Miami giving 2. Now it's Tampa giving 2.5, with 41.5 is the under. I'm taking Tampa Bay all around. I'm taking the over and Tampa Bay outright.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Tampa Bay. I mean, I'm totally with you, too. I'm super high on this team right now, so it's all about Tampa.
Yeah. By the way, I'm playing Jaquiz in this game. I think he has a nice game against Miami.
He's a cheap back.
He is
too,
a cheap
for
back.
a nice RB2, so
Yeah.
or even a flex.
Yeah, I was gonna say flex.
Powerhouse workhorse, could do well. I mean, don't get to sleep on Miami's defense.
No, you don't sleep on them at all. But there's just too much going on for that defense to even think about, oh, shit, they're running.
Right.
Because you got to cover Mike Evans, got to cover Deshaun Jackson. I mean, I'm definitely taking Jameis in this game, too. I think Jameis has a big passing game.
Yeah.
I think Jarvis Landry has a big game, too. I think he, on the other side, I think playing Cutler even as a cheap quarterback, if you really want to save money and load up everywhere else, I think that's not a bad play in this game.
Steve Moranch, just chime on this point before we go pay some bills. He's who requested this game. He makes a good point. The game might not even be played because of the hurricane moving in. Yeah,
hurricane is moving in this weekend. Almost forgot.
Yeah.
My parents are supposed to be going to Cuba this weekend. That might not be happening.
Yeah, you better off tell them to resell those tickets back to the airline and don't go.
Thought I heard somewhere that they actually already rescheduled the game.
Yeah.
They said possibly.
yeah.
They got it. It's going to be another couple.
We're going to
days.
find out Friday, actually, what path is it taking. Is it going to stay out to sea or is it going to move inward? I mean, there's a possibility that it could move inward and eventually roll up the coast, New Jersey, New York, and all of a sudden it'll be New York, New Jersey strong instead of Houston strong. And all people of Houston, our hearts are still with you as you reclaim your land there, so to speak.
And the people in Los Angeles, our hearts are out to you as well, dealing with all those wildfires north of the city and everything. You know what I mean? Just it's all kinds of chaos right now. All kinds of chaos in our land.
Yep. Fucking Trump.
It's all his fault, man. Clean it up, bro.
But
that's what the liberals are saying.
You'd have to think that the game would get moved in location. You know what I mean? Because
they're better off.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I mean, unless by chance the two of them have the same bye week. I don't have that information in front of me right now. That could be a way that works where they open up. Oh, yeah, first week is a bye. All right.
I think the Bucs
that would
have
suck.
10 or 11.
The Bucs are 11. Bucs are 11, definitely.
Yeah.
Because I remember I drafted a lot of Bucs and I think another team that has week 11, and I'm just totally punting that in Doug's league.
Yeah.
I went for that strategy this year just to try it out or what have you, where whoever's faced me week 11, you got a W right now. Just mark it up. Hey, if you out there want to get a W, especially when it comes to what you're driving on the road, go visit the dealership over down at BMW of Atlantic City. They challenge its sales team, and they must sell 100 vehicles, which means you save. Right now, lease a certified pre-owned elite 2017 BMW 320i with xDrive, just $299 a month for 36 months. The ultimate driving experience is much closer than you think. BMW of Atlantic City, easy to get 2 minutes off the exit 37 on the Garden State Parkway. Check them out online. Oh, was that week 11 bye?
They are both week 11.
Yeah, they might just push the game to week 11.
That might be. They might be. Well, hey, if you're a Tampa Bay or Miami fan, you need something to do, check out BMWAtlanticCity.com.
Why not?
Get your next vehicle. You're listening to Fantasy Dominance now, only on A2DRadio.com. Keep it there.
Welcome in to the worldwide leader of what? Real Talk, A2DRadio.com.
Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard. A2DRadio.com is sponsored by the Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
A2DRadio.com is proudly sponsored by Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Tom and Mike from AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's gibsonmayer.com.
Hey, do you need to get your skills in shape? Then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
You're listening to Fantasy Dominance Now, only on A2DRadio.com.
And welcome back to today's Fantasy Dominance Now, only on A2DRadio.com. Kicking off Hour 2 with Brian Daly, Mike Kleinkopf, Doug Pitchford, Rob Hobia, Matt Sinsudi. There will be a test on all these names at the end of the show, and I will probably fail it, even though we've been doing the show for a little while.
Like you forgot my last name the other time, and you claimed that you ran out of breath.
I almost forgot about that.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
We need a test. I love you, Rob.
Damn, just back the bus up any faster. Please.
Everybody hates the star. That's what it's all about.
Christ, I got to
It's
hear
all
it
about.
at work.
Oh, God.
So we're right up in the middle of our NFL Week 1 preview, focusing on the fantasy players that need to be in your lineup, in your DFS lineups. Certainly who's going to win these games, who you're most excited to see this weekend. You can chime in on Twitter, Facebook. We'll get to the poll results at the end of the show. This segment's being brought to you by the Scanzano Sports Center. Give them a call, 856-889-3434. Look them up online, scanzanosports.com. So let's jump into it, boys. We didn't address the final Baltimore-Cincinnati picks. I believe we talked about that game a little bit, but let's kind of revisit that game a little bit. 1 o'clock, CBS, Paul Brown Stadium, Cincinnati. You got Baltimore coming in here. What do you prognosticate for this game, gentlemen? Who should be in your lineups?
I mean, the line says Cincinnati. I mean, opened up over under at 44. Cincinnati was a 1-point favorite. Now Cincinnati's a 3-point favorite at 42.5. I'm gonna probably take the under here because I mean these games are typically lower scoring
they're
games.
very low scoring games.
Yeah, they're division games, slobber knockers. Usually they're decided by 3 points or less. So I'm actually gonna take Cincinnati and the points here. I'm gonna take Cincinnati by 3, and I'm gonna take the under here. In terms of fantasy relevance, I mean. It's going to be tough. I mean, besides like Justin Tucker and whoever's kicking for Cincinnati now.
Is it Nugent? Is it still him?
No,
Nugent?
he's gone now. I forgot who their kicker
That's
is.
how much
now.
I care about the Bengals.
Yeah, whoever I don't even know who the I think it's Cody Parkey or something. No, he's a Cleveland kicker. I don't even know who the dude is. But whoever Cincinnati's kicker is and Justin Tucker would probably be my fantasy relevant plays. I also like the defenses in this game. I don't see too many touchdowns being scored. It's going to be a lot of field goals, if anything. Maybe 1 or 2 touchdowns the entire game. So I'd go with either defense and probably either kicker.
I think you still got to roll out A.J. Green, though.
Absolutely.
In PPR leagues, yes. In standard leagues, I don't think I would. I think I'd fade him this week in standard leagues. I don't see him getting too many big plays. I don't think I see him scoring in this game either. I think I see them taking him away. In any format, though, I'm probably going to lean towards playing Tyler Eifert if he's playing in this game. If Eifert's playing in this game, I'm playing Eifert in this game. I think he has a bigger impact down the field and in the red zone than A.J. Green will in this game.
Fair enough.
I like Cincinnati in this game, to be completely honest with you. I kind of like their offense a little bit better. I think they're a little bit deeper than the Ravens, even the Ravens just bringing in Jeremy Maclin. I like Andy Dalton more than I like Joe Flacco, believe it or not.
I like the weapons more.
Well, and also the fact, too, that Flacco is coming off that back injury and he's finally getting into the gist of things with the teams. But, I was watching NFL earlier and, they jumped him right back in. It's not like he's practiced the other day like he would have practiced any regular season, non-injury, nothing. So, I mean, and they said he looks fine. I hate both of these teams a lot. So, I mean, I think the Bengals will win this game, personally.
Yeah.
It's going to be a very close game. I think they can beat the spread. I think it'd be more of like a four-point game, like a 24-20 kind of thing. But, yeah, I don't like really anybody fantasy-wise in this game. I mean, I'm an owner of Terrence West, and I'm kind of scared to play him this week against Bengals defense. I also own Maclin as well. So, I mean, and that's a connection that hasn't, been able to practice with each other.
Sure.
So I'm probably going to fade Maclin this week against the Bengals just because they haven't had enough time to work with each other.
Sure. Oh, inversely, too, the place kicker for the Cincinnati Bengals, Randy Bullock.
Oh, okay.
Look at that. Former Houston Texan Randy Bullock. He still had a job. I don't know how. Inaccurate bastard. Anyway.
Philly Nation chiming in on YouTube saying Eagles NFC East champs at 11-5.
Are you on drugs?
Hey.
That's crazy.
And can I have some, please? Because those sound pretty good.
We'll get into the breakdown of Eagles-Redskins here in a little bit for you, Philly Nation. Chuck Flex 158 coming back saying, in response to he bust my balls about being out of breath, he goes, he never inhaled. He lives down in Florida too, and he said that indeed it does look like it's coming here I hear, the hurricane.
Yeah.
So.
All the reports I've read when I even first heard of this storm brewing off of the coast of Africa is that more or less like the current trajectory that they had it at. This is as of 3 days ago when I looked at it personally. It was supposed to hit. It's going to hit, Florida. It's going to hit basically South Florida, roll up the East Coast, and then probably curl out to sea around North Carolina, around the Outer Banks. So we're going to get hit with a lot of the outer parts of the storms in terms of the rain and the wind, but we're not going to get hit with the storm itself in this part of the Northeast. But it's going to be pretty bad in the South.
And they won't really know the pure trajectory of the storm until probably this coming Saturday when it starts to hit land.
Yeah, right? I mean, the only thing we can hope for is that this storm doesn't pick up any more speed as they're projecting it to, because they're projecting it to potentially be a Category 5.
It already deemed Category 5.
Yeah, but
it's 180 mile an hour winds.
Yeah, but no. They said this hurricane might actually get its own category and become a Category 6 with over 220 mile per hour winds if this warm front it hits as it cuts across the Atlantic.
If I jump outside, I might be able to fly.
Oh no, you will fly. You'll be in Kansas, bro.
Oh man, yeah, no, certainly batten down the hatches. I mean, end of the world, folks. Get your affairs in order. But in regard to this game, though, I'm siding with you guys. I'm siding with Mike the commish as well, saying Cincinnati wins this game. Baltimore, I mean, Joe Flacco had a limited preseason due to injury. I think this is a team that's going to take a few games into the season to finally right the ship in this matchup. So. Let's move on to Pittsburgh at Cleveland. I know you've been waiting for this one. We'll get to this one first. We'll eventually, all the Eagles fans, we will get to Eagles-Redskins game, never fear. So 1 o'clock, CBS in Cleveland. How do you guys see this shaping out? I mean, I think it's going to be a closer game than most think because I think Cleveland Browns' defense is much improved this offseason. Whenever you can cut Joe Hayden, I think that says a lot about the cornerbacks that you currently have on your roster.
Yeah, I mean, the line reflects this as well. It opened up Pittsburgh at giving 9.5 with 47.5 over under. Currently at 9 and at 47 respectively. Still in favor of the Steelers clearly. That being said, though, Joe Hayden lost a step. Let's be honest here. Joe Hayden was still a very good cornerback. He was no longer elite. He wasn't worth the money they were paying him, and not for nothing, they had guys that were just as good that were sitting behind him. So, right. I mean, at that point, you got to cut him. It doesn't make sense.
Right.
I'm completely fine with them cutting them because when he got signed to our team, he became our best defensive back.
Right, but that's still not right. But that's still not saying much. It's still a secondary that's very beatable.
It's saying a lot because our defensive backs suck. So
right.
I'm happy that he came to our team and then like I said, we also got Wilcox as well. So we're definitely helping out our D-backs, which has been god-awful the past couple of years and reasons why we've lost a lot of games.
They're going to roll him out right away, too, against his former club?
You have to.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows the team best? Yeah. The guy that plays against him every day.
Right.
But the problem is they also know his weaknesses best because they play against him every day.
They do, but you know what, though? I think overall it's going to help out the Steelers' defense a lot more. So
it will. I mean, he's a veteran quarterback who's not going to get beat on double moves like a lot of their younger guys are, but he's still going to get beat a lot. And not for nothing, yes, this is an upgrade for that secondary to help get them a step closer to a Super Bowl. But he's not the guy getting them over the top like Deion Sanders was to Baltimore all those years ago. He's not that type of impact guy anymore. He's not that guy. But for this game, yes, they're going to win this game. I mean, it's Cleveland. Cleveland's a much improved team. I actually take Cleveland with the spread. I don't think they lose by 9. I think this is a much closer game. I'm actually going to take the under as well because these games are usually lower scoring games for the most part, usually with one team blowing out the other. I think this game is going to be a lot more like those early 90s, late 80s Browns-Steelers games where they're, slugfests in the teens, low 20s.
Fair enough. What say you, Bri?
Another football season among us, another starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah. This is the last one, though. I think so.
That's what they said about Brady Quinn.
Yeah. That's what they said about a lot of quarterbacks in Cleveland.
Sure.
Yeah, but this one's got a lot more talent.
Brandon Whedon.
This one's got more talent.
Whedon, Colt McCoy.
Oh God. Johnny Football.
Do we need to say anymore? No, Kaiser's definitely great, but he's also 20 years old too, which kind of scares me a little bit.
Yeah,
Really
it's going to be
Very
a very good learning experience this season for Deshaun Kaiser.
Yeah, it is.
I don't like the wide receivers that the Browns have. I'm not necessarily sure that outside of the running game there is a real threat that Cleveland has. I think Pittsburgh is going to absolutely destroy them. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game on Pittsburgh's end. Too many weapons. You have Le'Veon Bell finally, week 1, ready to go for Pittsburgh, and I think that's going to be the point that Cleveland isn't going to be able to stop.
Do they cover? Do they cover to 9? You said they blow them out. Do they cover to 9?
Yeah, I think they do.
Do they cover
I
the
agree.
47? Do they go over or under on the 47? Since you said they're gonna blow them out. Are they gonna blow them out like 38-8?
I could see.
I think it's going to be over.
Okay.
I think you're going to see Cleveland get some points, but Pittsburgh's putting up at least 35.
That's what I was just going to say. I think the score could be 35-17. I'll give the Browns 17 points. And
I mean, they're not terrible. They do have guys that can catch the ball.
I
They have
think,
Kenny Britt, Corey Coleman.
I think the Browns could even do more than 17, but I want to see what they have first, before I'm going out there saying, this brand new young team got a couple new guys, lost some pieces, great offensive line, the big uglies, all them guys up there. I just want to see what they could do. It sucks that the first test has got to be against my team, because to have us lose to the Browns week 1 would just be horrible, and just throw away the season now. But
See, I think it's going to be 24-20. I think it's going to be a very low-scoring. I think it is. I think it's going to be a slugfest back and forth, because I think Cleveland's defense really is that good. They can slow down this offense enough. And I think Cleveland's offense can at least convert first downs. I'm not going to say they can move the ball down the field and score like at will, but they can at least give their defense enough of a rest to keep this game close. And that's why I do see this game going that way.
The Steelers, one thing that they do best is they play down the competition.
They do.
So, we lost to the Bucs the year that they won 2 games. So that just tells you a lot.
Yeah.
Sure.
But, overall, Ben, I think, has lost once in his whole career against the Browns, and I don't think number 2 comes week 1.
No.
But I just – with our offense right now, I see it being, like I said, a 35, like 17, maybe even 20. I still think they get the spread, and I think we go over on the score, and that's help from both teams.
This offense, for the first time in a long time, is 100% going into week 1. So
this is the first time in 2 years that Martavius Bryant, Bell, Brown, and Ben are all the Bs are all together again.
I'm definitely playing.
And then Eli Rogers.
I'm definitely playing right? I'm definitely playing Roethlisberger in this game. Got to play Roethlisberger.
Oh, I'm definitely playing Le'Veon if I had him.
Yeah, I'm playing Le'Veon in this game. I want to play Pittsburgh's defense just because it's a rookie quarterback, but I don't trust their defense at all. I don't trust them.
And you know what? If this was God damn it, I can't think of his name. It's so bad. Defensive coordinator Dick
LeBeau.
Yeah, Dick LeBeau. If this was Dick LeBeau's defense, still, I would say start Steelers defense, because he doesn't lose to rookie quarterbacks.
True.
No, he doesn't. He destroys rookie quarterbacks.
One phrase I'll say to dissect this game, and then we got to move on, is welcome back Martavius Bryant. I think he goes
60-yard bomb.
Yeah, I think hits the ground running right from week 1. Yeah. He would definitely make a nice sneaky play in DFS this week.
Yeah. He would. So would Corey Coleman, for that matter. I think Corey Coleman gets a long one too.
Well, like I said last week on the show, I did like Kenny Britt. With some of the acquisitions that the Steelers got this week, that kind of slows him down. I'm not saying don't play him, because I think he could be a sneaky play as well.
Sure.
But definitely getting Hayden and Wilcox definitely makes me a little bit happier.
We're going Pitt around the board?
I think so.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Arizona at Detroit, 1 p.m. Ford Field, Detroit, Michigan. This is going to be an interesting game, see where Detroit Lions sit now. Stafford nicely newly signed. One of the best paid, if not the best paid players in the NFL. So does he show it on the field, or does he sit back because he's got the contract? I think that, knowing Matthew Stafford and his competitive fire, I don't see him ever sitting back.
No, not at all. I don't think he's worth number 1 quarterback money.
No.
But he's definitely one of the better quarterbacks in this league. It's a shame that he has nothing around him.
Right.
Granted, he had Calvin Johnson, but tell me who else he had.
Right.
Because that's all he had.
Right.
And those were the times when Detroit's defense were one of the top defenses as well, but that's diminished as well. I like the Lions, but I think the Cardinals are better. and I know it's away, and the spread's only -1.5 for Arizona.
See this. I mean, the
It's
spread.
crazy.
The spread's what's talking in this game the most. It opened at Detroit being a 2.5 point favorite with a 49.5 under. Arizona's now the 1.5 point favorite with the same 48 under. So they dropped the points in this game because even they don't see how Detroit keeps up with Arizona in this game because Arizona's defense is too deep. Obviously, I'm going to take Arizona. And I'm going to take the over on the points because I do think Detroit will score enough points to at least keep the game semi-competitive for a little bit. But I think they clearly go over the 48. I mean, David Johnson. I don't see any reason why David Johnson doesn't completely dominate this game.
100% agree.
Yeah,
I really don't.
Yeah.
I mean, Carson Palmer maybe a sneaky play, maybe Larry Fitzgerald for Arizona, but I'm just.
That's why I said to
DJ.
that guy writing in, I'm like, go with DJ. I think the matchup screams for it, even at the value on DFS.
In terms of going the other way with Detroit, in a PPR league, I'm definitely going to play. What's the running back's name now? I can't get his head. I can't get it.
Amir Abdullah or Theo Riddick?
Theo Riddick. I'm definitely playing Theo Riddick in this game. I'm done with Amir Abdullah is dead to me.
Agreed.
He doesn't exist. But no,
even though he was highly touted again this year, and I'm like, didn't you see last year?
He can't run the football.
Well, he was hurt the whole year too. So
but that's because he's
Not
a
the
little
whole
guy.
year.
He's a little guy.
yeah,
He's a little guy. He can't hang.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
Sproles has been in the league for almost 10 years.
But Sproles has never been a feature back. That's just saying, little guys don't last as feature backs unless they're like super tough, like Warwick Dunn. Like you don't remember too many little guys. Barry Sanders. You don't remember too many little guys that are elite level running backs for a long time because they can't hang. The beating's too great. And that's part of the problem that Detroit's now found with Amir Abdullah. He just can't hang. And because they don't have the running game, that's going to be their ultimate downfall yet again for the 2017 season is going to be the fact that they still don't have a running game.
Absolutely. Let's try to finish the schedule, guys, before we hit the bill. Yeah. Oh, we got to wrap up already. Really? Well, hey, let's speed through the rest of these games real quick before we hit the break. All right. So you guys got Arizona. Across the board. Arizona. Jacksonville at Houston, real quick. Who are you targeting? Who wins?
I'm targeting Lamar Miller definitely as a value play. I think 5,100 on DraftKings. Jacksonville has led up the most rushing yards with their starting defense, so I like that. I'm taking Houston.
Definitely taking Houston with the points at 5.5 is what the spread is. I'm taking Houston's defense. Jacksonville, I mean, Blake Bortles, Chad Henne, doesn't matter. They both turn it over. And I'm taking the running back in Houston, too, as a play. And AR-15 as well, Allen Robinson. I think he'll put up a nice game.
I'm taking Houston in this game. Believe it or not, I'm going Leonard Fournette with Jacksonville against Houston's defense. See what the rookie does in his first game.
You got balls, kid. I ain't touching that one.
Huevos. Oakland at Tennessee, 1 o'clock game. One of the last 1 o'clock games. We'll say Philadelphia at Redskins on the other side.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm good with that.
So Oakland, who wins? Who's fantasy relevant?
Everybody, pretty much.
Anybody but
sides.
the defense. No defenses in this game. This is going to be a track meet.
I say you sit Marshawn Lynch, though, in this game.
Yeah, I think he's the only one.
I said that before the show. Tennessee had the second best rushing defense in the league last year, and not many things have changed there, if any at all. So again, I like the value of Marshawn Lynch, and if you want a nice, safe flex player, play him because I think he was 5,100. So I mean, great money right there for him, but I don't like him.
See, that's where I differ from you. I play him in fantasy in your league matchups. I play him as a flex this week because I think he does still get into the end zone and score and put up some points for you. But in terms of DFS plays, I don't see him really cracking over 50 yards. And I mean, the touchdown's a little iffy. That's why I say flex play and league play. But if he doesn't score, he really doesn't have value in this game.
This is true. Going up against the team defense that gave up the least points to running backs, and Marshawn Lynch coming off a year now. Yes, he did have camp, right? That old body, I think he's got to warm up a little bit. I'm not willing to play him in any format this weekend, and I drafted him. I believe in him, but
not yet.
Yeah, not yet. Not quite yet against this defense. I'm going with Tennessee in an upset here. I think they win at home.
Yeah, no.
I'm with you.
And the spread says it, too. Tennessee's favored by 2 with a 51 over-under.
Absolutely.
I'll go over.
I'll go Raiders.
Yeah, I'll
go
over.
Raiders. I'll be I'll be lone wolf today. All right.
Absolutely.
Ain't mad at you.
Real quick, Colts at Los Angeles Rams.
Play everybody.
I'm sorry.
Play nobody.
I just
Yeah,
vomited.
I'm not playing anybody.
You gotta love Todd Gurley in this game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely
True.
Todd Gurley. If
True.
you're an owner of him,
LA
play him.
Rams.
Play the shit out of him.
LA Rams defense, I'm absolutely in love with them. I think you're going to hear me say them again later in the show, but LA Rams defense for sure. T.Y. Hilton definitely in this game as well, especially in PPR leagues because he's going to get rack up a ton of catches.
Even without Andrew Luck?
He did it without Andrew Luck. Every other game Andrew Luck's
That's
missed.
true.
Yeah, Tolzien
I
makes
think
me
about last year.
nervous.
Yeah.
But I'm open for it, too. All right, we talked about Seattle, Green Bay. Carolina at San Fran.
Oh, man, this just makes me sad.
Carolina, sorry, buddy.
Oh, please, I'm going Carolina, too. I ain't stupid. I'm just saying. Like, I mean, my Niners have a much improved defense. I'll actually take the under at the 48 though, and that's what the over under is right now. I'll go under Carolina by 5.5. I'll take Carolina at the points because I think they win this game by 14. They're gonna blow.
Wow,
They're gonna win this game by 14. I already said it. But no, it's gonna be under. San Francisco offense is hot garbage. Their defense will keep them in it for a little while, and then they'll just get overwhelmed.
I think this is going to be a very defensive game. I don't like either one of these offenses. I think it's going to be a definite running matchup between these two teams. I'm playing Christian McCaffrey in his first, and then I'm playing Carlos Hyde too.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm playing both those as well. I might actually even sneak in Calvin Benjamin or Greg Olsen in this game if I can.
Olsen contract year, you got to play him.
Yeah,
I'm definitely
agreed.
not. I'm not touching Kelvin Benjamin. He's
he's
way too out of shape. I haven't gotten to see him play yet in preseason yet.
I have.
but
He's in immaculate shape. He's ready to rock and roll. That's
Yeah,
why I'm
better.
telling you, Calvin Benjamin. Plus, he's gonna be a cheap play because of what you just said. The only thing they saw him is looking like Cheeseburger Eddie. And he's super cheap right now on DraftKings and on FanDuel because he looked like Cheeseburger Eddie. So he's going to be a nice, super sneaky play in DraftKings or on FanDuel this week. 'Cause I think he has 100 yards and a score. He's going to have a nice game.
Nice, fair enough. Last game, and of course, like I said, we'll cover Eagles, Redskins on the other side before we get to fresh or stale. But New York Football Giants at Dallas Cowboys, Sunday night game down in Dallas.
Woo!
I'd like to say Dallas breaks the schneid of, being winless against the Giants in the Dak Prescott era, but I'm actually picking the New York Giants in this game. I think their defense is pretty tough. I think
We all right?
Yeah. Do you smell that?
Wow.
I smell an aroma. I can't believe I just heard what it came out of your face.
Well, I'm just calling it like it is, man. I mean, obviously, who am I rooting for? We know that, but I just see that defense holding Zeke in check if he does play. We still don't know that yet.
Yeah.
True.
Even if he does play, they're a good run defense. I'd give him maybe top 5 in the league. And Dak Prescott, it'll be on his shoulders.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially if Zeke's out. Definitely on his shoulders. Can he will him to victory? Can that happen? Yes.
Yeah.
I'm saying maybe in a 22-21 nail-biter, Giants win. And in terms of fantasy relevant players, ODB, obviously. I'm steering clear of Sterling Shepard in this game.
Yeah.
I think Brandon Marshall could have a good game in that wide receiver 2 slot. Nobody in the Giants' backfield. I'm not going Paul Perkins.
No way.
No, I'm not touching that.
Right. Because Cowboys' run defense, as you said before the show, is still
they
pretty
let
strong.
up the least amount of yards last
well,
season.
what about
so.
Shane Vereen in the passing game? He's still their passing back.
I mean, in a
PPR.
PPR. Yeah, in a
Yeah.
PPR, he's a good flex play. Actually, there's a guy in that game I love, and Evan Ingram. I'm going Evan Ingram here. I think he's the sleeper in this game. He could actually be a fantasy sleeper for just across formats, period. Dallas is terrible at covering the tight end at the linebacker position. They did just as well lose Barry Church in the middle of that defense. He was a great safety to cover the tight end. I can see Eli really exploiting that with Evan Ingram over the middle. And Brandon Marshall.
Jalen Smith could be an answer there, but we'll see how that plays
Got
out.
it, snaps. You got to worry about how many snaps he can actually play, and especially the guy in front of him's hurt now. Hitchens, I believe, is out for the season.
Yep. I mean, I wanted to agree with you in terms of the tight end, but I actually saw Esham ranked very low this week. And
Ingram?
Ingram. Excuse me. I always say Esham. I don't know why, but Ingram. I think I'm thinking hockey, 3 p.m., hockey happy hour here on atdradio.com. But, I just, rookie coming in, I have my doubts there a little bit. I'm not going to lay stake on him in on DFS format, so to speak. On the Cowboys side, I think, obviously if Zeke's playing, you're playing him.
Of course.
Des Bryant. I think Cole Beasley, always a darling for PPR leagues. So we'll see how it shapes out. Who do you guys got winning this game?
I got Giants if Zeke doesn't play, Cowboys if Zeke does.
Okay.
I got the Cowboys either way. I just like the offensive weapons compared to Giants.
We don't know ODB or
OBJ.
We don't know if
OBJ,
OBJ's
yeah.
playing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still a lot of variables in this game, but I think Cowboys can pull this one out by the skin of their teeth.
I mean, regardless, you got to play OBJ in any format. I'm
Definitely.
taking the under regardless, 47.5. I don't think this game approaches that. I think it's closer to what Rob had said before, 23-22 type of deal, very, very close game. I'm taking Dallas at 3.5 if Zeke plays. I'm taking the Giants outright if he doesn't.
Fair enough. All right, boys, let's go pay some bills so we can get to some fresher stale on the other side. We're going to wrap it up there in terms of this segment. Stick with us. Fresher stale coming on the other side. Fantasy Dominance now only on A2DRadio.com.
Woo!
Welcome in to the worldwide leader of what? Real Talk, A2DRadio.com.
Do you need to get your skills in shape? Then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by the Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet. Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard.
A2DRadio.com is proudly sponsored by Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Tom and Mike from AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's gibsonmayer.com.
You're listening to Fantasy Dominance Now, only on A2DRadio.com.
And welcome back to today's Fantasy Dominance Now, only on A2DRadio.com. Brian Daly, Mike Kleinkopf, Doug Pitchford, Rob Povia, Matt Tsutsudi on the ones and twos, bringing you all the fantasy dominance. If you want in on the dominance, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You search A2DRadio.com.
By the way, Rob, I would like to be known as the wacky, wailing, floating arm, waving, inflatable, failing man. I don't even know how to say that shit right now.
You're definitely a hugger.
I am a hugger.
Yes. Our last segment here is being brought to you by the Sports Outlet. For all your sporting needs, give them a call, 856-939-2030. Look them up online, sportsoutletinc.com. So, Billy, we saved the best for last for you. Eagles at Redskins.
Woo!
1 p.m. game down in Landover. How do you guys see this game shaping out? Who's the fantasy relevant players?
All right, I'll open it up because I thought you were gonna say something.
I don't even know who to say.
I mean, all right. First off, this game opened up at a 2.5 point favorite for Washington, the Washington team. They're now a point favorite for the Eagles. It opened at 48 over under. It's now at 47.5. I'm taking the Eagles with the points. I'm taking the under. I want to take the under on this game. I'm a little hesitant to say that, so I might even avoid it. If you do bet it, maybe take the over. But I'm definitely taking the Eagles in 1 point. Fantasy relevant, I'm definitely going Carson Wentz here. Both quarterbacks here, really. I can see this game easily becoming a shootout. It's with Philly going up big early and Washington with a fierce comeback to come up short. I love Terrell Pryor in this game. I love Alshon Jeffrey in this game. I really don't like too much of the running backs outside of Rob Kelly in this game for Washington. I could see him cracking 100 yards with a score in this game. I see the ball moving. I do. I see the ball moving. I don't see a lot of defense being played here. I mean, granted, yes, Washington does have the better defense of the two teams, but Washington's not that great against the run. And they're not that great against the short passing game either. Their linebackers don't cover well, so I could see Zach Ertz having a big game. I could see Darren Sproles out of the backfield in a PPR format being huge. Maybe you play – I would probably lean towards playing Ertz as a cheaper tight end play in daily.
I like that for the most part. I like Alshon Jeffrey, obviously, Carson Wentz, Kirk Cousins. I do like Zach Ertz, and I will be playing him this weekend. As far as overall that Washington offense goes, outside of Terrell Pryor, I really don't see any other threats in that offense.
Jamison Crowder?
I don't know, man. I think that the Eagles safeties are going to do a good job of keeping him under control.
I think Jordan Reed can be an X factor, but that depends on health. His health one. But I do see
Terrell Pryor, right? He's there.
Yeah, Terrell Pryor.
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, Jamison Crowder could be an option if Jordan Reed doesn't play. I could see him having a bigger game. If he does play, I see Jordan Reed being pretty limited in what he does even out there in the office because I do see Philly being able to cover him up a little bit better than they have in years past.
Yeah, agreed.
I'm going Skins at home, though.
You got to be picking the Skins at home?
I'm going to go Skins. Sorry, Eagles Nation.
I'm picking the Birds.
Going with the Birds.
I hate fucking saying this. Fly, Eagles, fly.
I'm with you, Mike. I think the Redskins can pull this off at home. I mean, are the Eagles going to be better offensively this year? I don't know because the running game concerns me a little bit. When the fact that you're talking about cutting LeGarrette Blount, who you brought in this year, it doesn't give me a lot of confidence in him. I mean, I do like Wendell Smallwood a lot. You know what I mean? To play him this weekend, no. But, I mean, in terms of the context of the game, he can do some things, kind of get through what is, I'd say, average to above average linebacker core there for the Washington Redskins. So, it all depend on if they can have a balanced attack, then I think that gives Eagles the leg up in a victory. I don't think it's balanced quite yet. So, in a nail-biter, I'll go Redskins.
Yeah, it's another team I want to just see.
I'm not too worried about Blount. It was preseason.
Yeah.
I'm sure Blount's game will
you know what?
He's saving his
Pick up.
wraps for
Oh,
the.
yeah.
Listen, it's another year of Captain Kirk wanting to get paid and get out of Washington.
Sure.
So he's going to want to play good.
Yeah, but he's got less weapons. I don't think he has as good a year. I still think he's pretty good, though. I still think he's very good. I just don't think it's as good.
Truth be told. All right. Well, that be that. We ran through. We got through all the games.
Thank God.
Oh, man. It's a high. There you go. All right.
We did it.
So let's get to Fresh or Stale. This is being brought to you by Liberty Event Rentals. For all your party needs, give them a call, 267-314-7368. Look them up online, libertyeventrentals.com. Fresh or Stale, in case you're just joining us in the show, if this is the first time you're watching our show during football season, do this game fresh or stale. Who's a fresh play that maybe moderately owned to low owned that you could play in both leagues as well as DFS? Also, on the stale side, who's those high owned guys that are going to be bound to disappoint you come Monday night when you're 2 points down in your matchup and hoping for a miracle? I'll start it off. My fresh play for quarterback this weekend, Cam Newton at San Francisco. San Francisco last year gave up the 24th most points to opposing QBs. Newton's actually currently only the 7th highest QB price on FanDuel at $7,900. So I think it's a great play, and you can save a little cash.
Yes. I'm going to keep it with your quarterback, but I'm going to raise you Carson Palmer.
Oh.
Against Detroit. Detroit
Wow.
on
In my Palmer?
Detroit let up 30. They were 31st in most points let up by the quarterback position last year, and he's only 6,000 on DraftKings, which is a great value.
Nice.
No, he is a great value play. I'm going to stick with my value play this week, though. I'm going to stick with that Eagles game. I love Carson Wentz this week. He's a guy, only owned about 74% of flea flicker leagues right now. Only started in less than half of those in about 48% of leagues. I think that's a mistake. I think Carson Wentz has a huge year, especially with all the weapons around him. More importantly, too, Washington's defense last year allowed the 5th most passing yards per game at 274 yards per game. And 1.4 touchdowns per game, which got them 12th worst in the league last year in terms of passing touchdowns per game. So those are two stats that lean in his favor. Now you add in Alshon Jeffrey, big time.
Yeah.
My stale this week.
Well, let's go through all fresh, and then we'll get the stale. If you
real
don't mind.
quick on DraftKings, Cam Newton is the 4th highest quarterback.
Yes, he is.
Fourth
So
highest
at
on DraftKings, so he's a
7,100.
little higher.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Brian, your fresh quarterback?
Going with Matty Ice against the Chicago Bears. Just seems like a sure thing,
It is.
pretty much.
Sometimes short things fuck you, though. In this case, I don't see that happening, though. I'm in agreement with you. All right, Doug, start off the stale side, man.
Brady.
Wow.
Brady. I'm going right at it. I mean, number one quarterback in FanDuel right now at 8,900. I just don't like the way it locks up for him this week, man. I already mentioned why I think the too many new pieces, early season. He's going to be Brady by around week 2, week 3, but not this week, especially against Kansas City.
Yeah, Brady's also the highest as well in DraftKings at 7,600.
So you're definitely not going to hit value if it goes.
I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. I would definitely fade him as well, just because of his value. I said, I think Carson Palmer could have a better game points per value.
Same thing with
Then,
Carson Wentz as well. 7,100, by the way, super valued player.
Yeah.
Nice. Kick it off, Mikey, or not kick it off. Follow up, Doug, with your stale quarterback.
Well, I just went stale running backs as well, so
Gotcha.
I'll get to that though.
Okay.
There's many of them.
Brian, who's your stale quarterback?
If he plays this week, Tyrod Taylor. I mean, like Doug said, that Jets defense is sneaky good, especially even that secondary, and he just doesn't really have any big weapons to throw to.
Real quick, I'm sorry, but I'm really confused on this, okay? Jimmy Garoppolo and Derek Anderson are higher than Alex Smith, Jay Cutler, Carson Wentz, all starting quarterbacks.
Yeah, Alex Smith gets such disrespect, man.
Well, no, there's a reason for that because they're playing up that Brady might get hurt in that game because of his age, because it is week 1, and they're also playing it up that they beat the brakes off him so bad in the first half that they don't even need Brady in the second. But I don't see either of those scenarios happening.
And why would that make it a smart play to play one of those at that value? Because I want a guy that's going to be in the game. The more amount of opportunities, the better.
Exactly.
A guy that's going to have a lot of opportunities, but is on my stale side of the ledger is Phillip Rivers at Denver. Denver let up the least amount of points to opposing QBs last year, and he's 7,100 on FanDuel, which is, pretty pricey. I doubt that he'll hit value.
Highly.
Yeah.
Highly.
You know what? I'm going to go as my stale quarterback. I'm sorry I'm doing it to you, but I'm going to go Dak.
Okay. Yeah, that's all right, man. I mean, the Giants have had his number, especially down in
pretty
Dallas.
Solid. They ranked 5th last year against opponent ranks. So,
yep. I could be saying all these negative things as a total reverse psychology, fellas. Just keep that in mind, peoples.
Hey,
especially Joe, if you're watching.
Never know.
I know I'm going to be hearing it from my brother after the show. I know that's for a fact. All right, let's move on to running backs. Fresh play. Start off, Brian.
I got Melvin Gordon versus Denver.
My man. Good pick.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm gonna take the running back against the worst rush defense in all of football last year across all fantasy and real categories, and that's the San Francisco 49ers, which means I'm taking Christian McCaffrey and Jonathan
Stewart. Makes sense. Mike, you got yours fed up?
Yes, I do. All right, my fresh is definitely going Lamar Miller then. At 5,100 against Jacksonville, whose run defense looks putrid so far this preseason. And my stale, like I said before, is Marshawn Lynch against Tennessee.
Yeah, that's a good one. That is a good one.
Okay. Let me just give my fresh real quick, and then you got the stale started off. Isaiah Crowell versus your boy. Sorry to do it to you here, but Steelers did give up the 28th most points to opposing running backs last year, and he's 6,500 on FanDuel. I think that makes for a solid mid-tier play. And let's roll on to the stale side. I'll double dip here. Danny Woodhead at Cincinnati. A lot of people are high on him, especially in PPR leagues, but since he was pretty good against the run last year, but Woodhead's value, especially in PPR leagues, is the pass catching, which Cincy can shut down. I think he's attractive for flex spots, but just say no, people. Even at 6,500 as well, he's got a little bulky hamstring coming into this one, too, so I'm a little concerned there. I don't like the matchup. I don't like the hamstring.
I can see that. Because of injury as well is one of my fades. I actually have two, if I could squeeze them in.
Sure.
One's LaShawn McCoy, and this is variant upon Tyrod Taylor playing. If Tyrod Taylor plays, then I don't mind playing McCoy. If Nate Peterson, however the hell you say his name, if he's your starting quarterback, I'm fading LaShawn McCoy. He's just no. In all formats, just no. It's just bad juju.
Just say no.
Same thing goes with Leonard Fournette, too, for that matter. It doesn't matter, period. Against Houston, that's run defense very stout. Hence my asking me for the second play. I'm not touching that one. Houston lets up less than a rushing touchdown per game. I believe they only let up 11 rushing or 12 rushing touchdowns all season last year. I don't like Leonard Fournette this week.
See, Senor Brian, who's your stale today?
My stale play is Marshawn Lynch, just week one of having a year off, getting back into it. He's just not going to be good.
Absolutely. We talked a lot of Marshawn Lynch earlier on in the show. You didn't miss it, though. You missed it live, but you can always go back and watch it on YouTube after we're done here today. Wide receiver fresh. I'm going Doug Baldwin because Doug Fresh. It's a nice mix. Doug Baldwin at Green Bay is also another good mix because they gave up the most points to opposing wide receivers last year. And what's changed about that defense? I don't see anything change, especially in the secondary. Doug Baldwin, a little pricey, 7,500 on FanDuel, but I think he'll hit value.
Angry Doug.
Agreed.
I like Angry Doug.
Keep the fresh train rolling.
Yeah, well, I'll go with my fresh play. I'm going Amari Cooper against Tennessee. 7,200 on DraftKings. Tennessee's pass defense was one of their worst attributes last year. Let up 31, or they were ranked 31st in defense against wide receivers.
Sure.
Yeah, they're pretty putrid. You know what? I got to do it to him. I'm gonna keep that rolling with Alshon Jeffrey this week. Against Philadelphia, I like the matchup this week. I mean, granted, Washington did have a relatively solid pass secondary defense last year, but I mean, Alshon Jeffrey's a different breed of cat. He's a big dude. He can make a few things happen. More importantly, Philadelphia's gonna get ways to get him off of Josh Norman. So he'll catch footballs. That's all that matters.
Fair enough. Brian, who's your fresh play? Wide receiver.
I'm going with Amari's counterpart, Michael Crabtree. I think he's going to have a little bit more of a better game than Amari does because obviously Amari's going to attract double coverage, but that'll leave Crabtree a little open, and that's Derek Carr's favorite red zone option.
Yes, sir. I like it. What I don't like on the stale side of wide receiver is Corey Coleman. And I know you were high on him before early against Pittsburgh, but
I'm still high on him.
Believe it or not, Mikey, your boys, I know you put down their secondary. They gave up the 5th least points to opposing wide receivers last season. And on the fantasy game, that's what's more important, not so much the ranking in the NFL. And I think it's just going to take time to build up that rapport with Kaiser, despite early preseason chemistry between the two. He's very cheap at $5,700 on FanDuel. I say don't be tempted. If you have a better wide receiver option to play in your leagues, I would roll that week. But eventually, I am high on Corey Coleman, just not this week.
I like it.
I can see that. I'm avoiding Jordy Nelson this week. Got to. I mean, I'm sorry. It's simple. It's very simple. He's versus Seattle. We talked about this already. The points in that game are going to be a little bit harder to come by, especially against Seattle's defense. Jordy Nelson, he's going to rack up some catches. He might get some yardage on you, but you know what? He's not going to crack that 125 yards. He's not going to get 10, 11, 12 grabs, and he's not going to score 1 or 2 touchdowns. None of those things are going to happen. If you have better options, I'm definitely playing him week 1 if I can, but most people are going to play Jordy Nelson. Just heavily temper expectations.
Well, that was my pick. But you know what? I'm going to go after looking at numbers. I'm going to go Mike Evans as my fade.
Wow, okay.
At 7,800. Miami's defense let up. They were 22nd best. I'm sorry. I'm reading it backwards. Change that. I'm just going to stick with Jordy. I'm reading it backwards, yeah.
I got you.
They were the 22nd worst.
Yeah, they got
Hey,
roasted.
when there's an accordance here, that means it's a lock.
Yeah.
So don't be shy of repeating.
Excuse my mistake there. I'm reading it backwards.
I make them every minute of the shows, ever, always. Brian.
Sounds like me.
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to fade Tyrell Williams against Denver.
Right.
Not only does Denver have one of the best passing defenses, even despite the fact they lost T.J. Ward, Keenan Allen's back. So you're going to see a little bit of those targets taken away from Tyrell back to Keenan. It's just a lot of weapons in San Diego, and with the return of Keenan, I just don't think Tyrell's going to see all of them.
Yeah, I think targets all around go down. I think it's going to be much more of a rushing game for Los Angeles now. That's going to take me some time to get used to that.
No, keep saying San Diego. It's okay.
Yeah.
I don't respect the move.
All right, boys, let's get through this. Tight end, fresh play. Jack Doyle.
Yes.
At your Los Angeles Rams. Despite giving up the 8th least points to ends last year, I believe with Tolzien behind center, as we talked about before, with Luck, being out for week 1 at the very least, probably longer, he'll be hitting up Doyle early and often. Jack Doyle's only 5,100 on FanDuel.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I'm saying this week play Zach Ertz against Washington, definitely. At 3,500, Washington's defense against tight ends ranked 29th worst in the league.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Cool.
That's pretty bad.
I'm going to go ahead and throw this one out there. I'm going to go ahead and say start O.J. Howard against Miami.
Really? Right out the gate, huh?
Right out the gate.
I like it.
Cameron Brate doesn't worry you there?
Well, I got both.
Yeah,
so
both.
I'm okay.
Yeah, and I think to Doug's point a few shows ago, you're going to see a repetition of what New England's done classically with the 2 tight end sets where both hold value. So
yeah,
I hear I'm a little higher on Brate this week than Howard. I think you got to let the rookie pay his dues, kind of work his way into the system. But O.J. Howard, world of talent.
Yeah, I think that's why. I think he's going to see about the same number of targets as Brate, but I think he's going to have the bigger value.
Fair enough. Double dip, man, because we got through all of our fresh plays.
No, I got one real quick.
Go for it, Doug. Sorry.
Evan, I already said him earlier, but I got to roll Evan Ingram. Dallas was the worst in terms of allowing receiving yards to tight ends last year. They were second worst overall in fantasy points to the position. And, granted, they have made some improvements. The secondary's taken a little bit of a beating. So, and this kid runs like a receiver. I'm just very high on this kid I just like what I saw. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
I really do.
Absolutely. Stale side, who wants to lead off?
I'll go first. Antonio Gates against Denver. The guy's just at the tail end of his career. Hunter Henry's come in and he's shown that he can play. It's not Antonio's team anymore. He's just going to start seeing less and less targets as good as Henry gets.
I can definitely pick up what you're putting down.
I'm going Jordan Reed against Philly. I'm going to keep it in the same game. The Eagles were second best against the tight end position last year. So,
I'm going to go with the team that was the best against the tight end position last year, and that's the Arizona Cardinals. So I'm sitting Eric Ebron. I want no parts of that, man. I mean, granted, he is like 6'7", 6'8", but it don't matter. Arizona covers it up. You can't teach that.
I'm sitting. I'm not going near Zach Miller. As I said before, he's going to be a popular play because usually, poor quarterbacks, tight ends value goes up because it's their safety net. And the Falcons did give up the 26 most points to ends last year. I just see this Bears offense being a complete mess, as I stated before. Zach Miller may have the best hands on the team with Cam Meredith out, but don't be tempted to play him. I really think he's going to disappoint this week, even at 4,500 on FanDuel.
Yeah, I can see that.
Definitely. All right, real quick, boys, before we wrap it up. Let's do fresh and stale real quick, just to expedite it. My fresh defense is Rams versus Indianapolis, only 4,600 on FanDuel. My stale is Bengals versus Baltimore, 4,600 on FanDuel.
Yeah.
Both the same price.
Right? I mean, yeah, I was also going with my fresh play being the Rams defense, but I'll take it a step further. I'll take my fresh defense as the Carolina Panthers this week against the 49ers. My stale defense this week is Green Bay Packers. I want no parts of that. I think Seattle beats them up a little bit. And I'll also throw Jacksonville in there. I don't like that matchup for them either.
That's exactly where I was going. I was going to go Jacksonville as my stale, and actually I got two stales. Then I got them and the Chiefs defense as well. Fresh, I think I'm still going to go. Well, I'm going Houston then.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Mikey. I'm going Houston as my fresh, and my stale is. I want no parts of that Cleveland defense. Like I said earlier in the show, Pittsburgh's going to put up at least 35.
Absolutely. Now, the most important position kicker, my fresh play is Justin Tucker, even though he's the most expensive on FanDuel at 5,000. He's a lock. He's going to have a good game at Cincinnati. My stale play is Steven Hauschka versus the New York Jets. This is a pointless game. Avoid everyone except some of the players we mentioned earlier. Yeah. And he's 4,800, only $200 less than Tucker. He's not going to hit value.
Well, I'm your DraftKings guy. There's no kickers for DraftKings. But, if I were to go anybody, I'm going to just be safe and go with Bozzy.
There's kickers on FanDuel, so, we do need kickers. I'll roll with Bozzy. I like it. But Dustin Hopkins, too, not bad.
Yes.
Fair enough.
I'm going to rock with Matt Bryant, and I'm not touching Brandon McManus.
The game that you all are most looking for this weekend, 50% of the vote goes to Eagles versus Redskins. Kind of expected that. 22% to another game, 14% between the kickoff Chiefs-Patriots and Giants versus Cowboys Sunday night. Everybody enjoy week one. For Brian Daly, Mike Heinkoff, Doug Pitchford, I'm Rob Povia. Matt Sudi, thank you for all you do in the producer's chair. Keep it there, 3 p.m. Hockey Happy Hour only on A2DRadio.com.
Happy football, everyone.